Nintendo just had one more announcement, and I gotta say, this caught us all off guard. But let's break this all down. Up next. What up guys, this is Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Weekend XP Share. So, this week was the week of announcements. And I gotta say, what's going under the radar here is the fact that we not only got a GTA 6 announcement, but we also got a Shrek 5 announcement on the same day. Humanity has peaked. But hey, this is a gaming news show, so I guess I gotta put Shrek aside, so let's talk about Zelda. All jokes aside, I love me some Zelda, and as soon as the Mario movie came out, aside from a sequel to that movie, people were asking if a Zelda movie could be next. Well, rest assured, Nintendo just announced not an animated Zelda movie, but a live action one. Now, I'm rather confused myself seeing how well the animated iteration of Mario did, but hey, at the very least, consider me interested. Now, a long time ago, I did a story that focused in on this movie and how WWE professional wrestler Cody Rhodes met with executives to talk about taking up the mantle as Link. Of course, the internet lost its collective mind when they seen Chris Pratt was the voice of Mario, so I'm very interested to see who they exactly pick for each of these roles. But a reason to get a little more excited here is the fact that Shigeru Miyamoto will be directly involved with the creation of this movie, so you know it'll be in good hands. A lot of times when you see adaptations of this caliber happen, they tend to fail because Hollywood always steps in and meddles with the source material. But I'd like to believe with Miyamoto here, he's gonna kinda steer the ship in the right direction. Now, the director of this movie will be Wes Ball, who worked on the Maze Runner series and the upcoming Planet of the Apes movie. Now, the biggest twist of them all, aside from the movie being live action, is Sony Pictures is co-funding this movie as well. But looking at this Sony and Nintendo partnership from a wider scope, it does make a lot of sense. Seeing how Sony is getting into the movie scene as well with their games, and this could spawn a potential partnership between the two sides, at least in the movie world. Sony also does have a successful film division, and they're both based in Japan. But speaking from a more personal viewpoint, I'm just gonna kinda sit back and watch this all unfold. The things I'm kinda more interested to see play out are 1, what kind of art style are they going with? 2, the story they want to tell within this movie, seeing how the Zelda games have plenty to work off of, and just overall, what's the tone of the movie gonna be? The Mario movie to me was different because it was just a fun time, and comparing the lore sectors of both Zelda and Mario, Zelda has been more notorious to be slightly more mature in theme, so it's gonna be interesting to see how they adapt that. But to kind of hit a combo move here, Zelda does have a chance to become even more mainstream than it already is. This is in part due to the fact that Nintendo showed off the impact the Mario movie had on game sales, which drove them up, no doubt. So the same thing can be done here with Zelda. Also, just want to kind of throw this out there for anybody listening. You might ask yourself, hey, they're doing this live action movie, and if they ever decide to do a crossover style movie, which I assume would be Super Smash Bros., how would a live action Zelda translate in the world of Mario? Well, they can kind of just do a whole bunch of green screen work, which is of course less exciting, but they do have art styles from games like Wind Waker, which when you look at Super Smash Bros., of course that character is in the game in the form of Toon Link. You see what I'm getting at here? But hey, let's chat a bit about Sony, seeing how they just released their Q2 reports, and it revealed a whole lot. For the most part, to no surprise, they found a lot of success. The PS5 shipped a total of 8.2 million units for the first half of their fiscal year. Their target was 25, but Sony did admit this number would be hard to reach. But those numbers are gonna go up for sure this holiday season. Spider-Man 2 sold 5 million units in its first 10 days alone, but it's no longer the fastest selling PlayStation game ever. That title belongs to God of War Ragnarok, which sold 5.1 million units in its first week. So God of War continues to be the champion here. But PR is one thing you gotta look at here. Seeing how with every fastest selling PlayStation game ever title a game gets nowadays, the days in which it's sold, those numbers are tweaked a little bit. But success aside, there's a bigger story here in regards to the future of PlayStation. We talked at length across multiple videos about how they're looking to pivot to live service games. This all happened under Jim Ryan, who swore by this method. Well, it turns out about 60% of their current budget is going towards these games, with 12 of them currently being in development. But with this report coming out right now, PlayStation just confirmed half of those games have been delayed. Quote, "We are reviewing this. We are trying as much as possible to ensure these games are enjoyed and liked by gamers for a long time. Of the 12 titles, 6 titles will be released by fiscal year 2025. That's our current plan. As for the remaining 6 titles, we're still working on that." Now, this could be viewed in two different scopes. Quality was brought up as the main focus for them. So, Sony's continued reputation for quality games came into mind when making these games. Or their shift to live service games hasn't gone as smoothly as they hoped. Now, we did talk about a little unrest within the PlayStation umbrella, as far as devs being rather unwilling to work on these games. We also allegedly seen PlayStation put The Last of Us factions on ice. But at the same time, I want to stress this isn't just an issue that's limited to Sony. This is happening all around the industry. It's no secret that everyone wants that mythical cash cow when it comes to the next big live service game. But like I said, these games are a risk. In my opinion, there's a lot more flops than success stories here. Now, Sony is learning that the hard way. And instead of taking that money they devoted to live service games and pumping it into what made them the industry leader in gaming, being single player games, we're just left to wonder what's next. Think about it too. If resources were diverted to other single-player games like another Sly Cooper or another Jak and Daxter, I know that's selfish, we wouldn't be in this little drought right now after Spider-Man 2. Now, I want to make something clear. I don't oppose live service games. As a matter of fact, I play a few of them, and it's nice to see that Sony's at least trying to expand their gaming catalog. The problem here is Sony's just trying to be too aggressive here, trying to release 12 live service games. Maybe chopping that number in half and diverting it to other single-player games would have been the better route, but that's just my opinion. But with all that being said, I'm gonna pass this question off to you guys. What are your thoughts on the live-action Zelda movie? And who would you cast? But that about does it here. I've been Kalo. I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Weekend XP Share.